Imagine walking into a room and feeling everyone's attention shift toward you. What changed? It was not your clothes, not your money, not some fake confidence act. The real shift happened in how you carried yourself. Right now, you might be trying too hard to impress, to entertain, to be approved. That effort is exactly what makes people pull back. When you stop chasing validation and start standing firm in who you are, people feel it. Stay until the end, and you'll learn how to create that calm, grounded presence that draws others in fast. If this speaks to you, hit like and subscribe for more. Because the first rule of magnetic presence is not what you expect. Stop trying to make everyone comfortable around you. Sounds harmless, right? It is actually the fastest way to become forgettable. Most people walk into a room scanning for approval. They laugh a little too quickly. They agree a little too often. They soften their opinions. They edit their personality in real time. They think being easygoing makes them likable. What it really does is make them blurry. When you agree with everything, you stand for nothing. When you never say no, your yes means nothing. People sense that, not consciously, but emotionally. But people who are magnetic do something different. They are respectful, but firm, warm, but clear. They do not shape-shift to match whoever is in front of them. If they disagree, they say it calmly. If they are busy, they say no without a 5-minute apology. They are not rude. They are rooted. Big difference. Imagine you are at work and someone asks you to take on extra tasks again. Instead of saying, "Yeah, sure, I guess I can try," say, "I cannot take that on right now." Then stop talking. Silence. Let it land. Or in a group conversation, instead of fake laughing at every joke, just smile if it is not funny. That small restraint changes your presence instantly. Psychologically, this triggers something called perception of value. When something is scarce, it feels valuable. Scarcity simply means limited access. If your approval is automatic, it has no weight. When your agreement is selective, it gains power. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to be respected by the right ones. That is the shift. And the next mistake people make destroys their presence before they even speak. Walk into a room like you belong there, even if you feel nervous, especially then. Most people shrink the moment they feel watched. They hunch their shoulders. They cross their arms tight. They glue their eyes to their phone. They move quickly, almost apologetically. It is subtle, but it screams. I hope I am not in the way. They think staying small keeps them safe. It actually makes them invisible. But people who draw attention do the opposite. They slow down. They stand upright. They let their arms rest naturally. They look around before they move. They take up space without asking permission. Not in an arrogant way, in a grounded way. Their body says, "I am comfortable here." And others believe it. Next time you enter a meeting, do not rush to the nearest corner seat. Pause at the door for 2 seconds. Breathe, scan the room, then walk in at a steady pace. Place your phone away. Sit back in your chair instead of perching on the edge. When you speak, keep your chin level. Small adjustments. Massive shift. This works because people read body language before they hear words. Your posture signals status, not money status, internal status. When you expand slightly instead of contracting, you communicate certainty, and certainty feels safe. Humans are drawn to stability. We trust what looks stable. You do not need louder words. You need steadier energy. Presence is physical before it is verbal. And what you do next with your silence can either multiply that power or kill it completely. Silence makes people uncomfortable. That is exactly why it is powerful. Most people rush to fill every gap. The moment a conversation pauses, they panic, they ramble, they over-explain, they add extra jokes. They talk just to avoid awkwardness. In meetings, they answer too fast. In arguments, they defend too long. In dating, they text paragraphs to fix a 2-word reply. They think more words mean more control. It usually means less. But people who command attention understand timing. They pause before answering. They let questions breathe. They hold eye contact a second longer. When someone challenges them, they do not react instantly. They think, then speak. Fewer words, clearer tone. No rush. That restraint creates weight. Picture this. Someone interrupts you mid-sentence. Instead of fighting to grab the floor back, stop. Let them finish. Then calmly say, "As I was saying," and continue. Or when someone asks your opinion, do not jump in immediately. Take one breath. Then answer slowly. Watch how the room leans in. Psychologically, silence creates tension. Tension creates focus. The brain wants resolution. When you pause, people pay attention because they anticipate what comes next. It also signals control. And control feels like confidence. Not loud confidence. Real confidence. You do not need to dominate the room. You need to pace it. That is the difference. And the next shift is where most people lose all of this power without even realizing it. If you need applause to feel steady, you will always feel shaky. Most people run on approval. They check faces after they speak. They wait for likes before they feel good about a post. They soften decisions until everyone nods. They ask, "Is that okay?" after stating a preference. They crowdsource their confidence. It feels collaborative. It is actually dependency. And dependency lowers perceived value fast. But people who are magnetic move differently. They decide. Then they inform. They share opinions without scanning for validation. If someone disagrees, they do not crumble. They listen. They adjust if needed. But they do not beg to be approved. Their energy says, "I trust my judgment." That self-trust is contagious. Next time you make a plan, stop asking, "What do you guys want to do?" Try, "Let's go here." Then relax. If someone suggests another option, consider it calmly. Or when you post something online, resist the urge to check reactions every 5 minutes. Let it exist without babysitting it. Instead of asking, "Was that okay?" After you speak, end your sentence and hold eye contact. Period. Psychologically, this shifts the power dynamic. When you constantly seek validation, you hand over control. Control means who decides what is acceptable. When you keep that internally, people sense stability. Stability builds trust, and trust builds attraction. You do not become magnetic by being approved. You become magnetic by being anchored. And here is the part that scares most people: the willingness to let someone walk away. What if losing people is the upgrade? Most people cling. They tolerate disrespect to avoid being alone. They over-explain when someone pulls back. They double text when replies get cold. They lower standards just to keep connection alive. They tell themselves it is loyalty. Often, it is fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of being replaced. Fear of sitting alone with their own thoughts. But people who are truly magnetic are not afraid of exits. If someone disrespects them, they address it once, calmly. If it continues, they step back. No drama. No begging. If a friend constantly cancels, they stop over-investing. If a partner tests boundaries, they reinforce them. And if the person leaves, they let them. That detachment feels dangerous. It is actually strength. Imagine this. You express a boundary and the other person rolls their eyes. Instead of arguing for an hour, you say, "That does not work for me." Then you disengage. Or someone pulls away emotionally. Instead of chasing with paragraphs, you mirror their distance. Give space. Watch what happens. Psychologically, this taps into scarcity again. When you are willing to walk away, your presence becomes optional, not desperate. Optional things feel valuable. Desperation feels heavy. People respect those who respect themselves first. You do not hold on to people to be chosen. You become choosable by being willing to leave. Change how you show up. The room changes with you. This was never about talent. It was about how you show up. Magnetism is not noise. It is control. And you can start today. Stand firm and people feel it. Slow down and the room shifts. Stop chasing approval and watch who leans in. Most people perform. You anchor. Big difference. Pick one move. Just one. Say no without over-explaining. Pause before you answer. Hold eye contact 1 second longer. Small move. Huge impact. You are building a different version of yourself. A steadier one. When people react differently, do not be shocked. That is the shift. If this hit, subscribe. You just got this for free. 1 click. That is it. More real growth is coming. Now, here is the next level. Acting magnetic is step 1. Staying unbothered is step 2. When you truly stop reacting, everything changes fast. Watch the next video and learn to act unbothered.